So it's already way past sunset, and look at how red the sky still is. It's very red. That's why I'm saying, like, the sun is being consumed by another sun, by another sun, by another sun, because, and we're all getting dragged into a black hole. Probably a couple of black holes. And I do see that some who self-select will go from one black hole to another black hole. It's not quantum tunneling by any means. It's like traversing dimensions. It's interdimensional. That's why I use my light codes, because this stuff is really, really hard to think about. And when I first went through this, because I know that I was part of some kinds of experiments, soul contracts, like it's too deep for it to not. So my family definitely signed up for this. I think that's why I'm so enthusiastic about it, because it's like, oh, it's finally time for the excitement, right? It's time for the joyride that we all signed up for. And the amount of I've heard it called the cracking of the cocoon in some shaman circles, but it would be just like the destruction of your reality, like your reality getting hit by a bag of bricks and it just shatters like glass, like thin frail glass. That is incredibly difficult to stomach on an empty stomach. Not just kidding, like, keep your stomach empty. Fasting really does make a difference. But the light codes that I have, it's like Mother Nature's DMT. It puts you into the trance state that Mother Nature is bringing for us to be able to witness what's happening, because we signed up for that, but also blame it on something. And so when I saw it, I had taken a bunch of diet pills and smoked spice because it was legal, and I was in a lot of pain, and from fractures from the Navy, blah blah, right? And so the diet pills, because I keep having a hard time getting just stuff that suppresses my appetite, because the food here, it, like, all of the stuff in the food, it's hard for me to not want to eat it when I'm in El Paso, Texas. But anyway, that stuff also helps me with whatever, right? So anyway, that's a whole other thing. But these light codes, that's what they do. So I would not recommend people take it lightly. Don't steal them, because they are full of like quantum explosion effects, right? And they are the magic mirror that you will see what you are. So when these creatures and my doggo comes back through, and all the things that are coming through these portals, you can try to blame CERN and give credit to all the billionaires and hope that Elon Musk, comes from the sky and saves you. None of that stuff's happening. This is about you and who you see in your mirror. It's about what template you have about reality. So I had to see the exorcist in me. I was called the exorcist growing up as a kid. And it was brutal, man. It was brutal, and I could have really injured people. And I was by myself in my house, but I mean, it was the whole thing. I could go into a deep dive about that, but this isn't about me, because your experience will be unique to you. So then the next time that I went through it, I was not taking any of those substances. I do still try to get a hold of the appetite suppressants, because they do help with whatever focus mechanisms, and if there's a way to use AI to extract what it is that suppresses my endless need for sugar and candy and stuff, and eating and tasting everything in front of me, then I'm all for it. But till then, right, that's what I sometimes take. But I have another video that describes exactly what it was like this time around, and it was nothing like the first time, but both of them were critical, and it's a fast development of consciousness. And I think Ann Tucker, if for people that need it slowed down, like, Ann Tucker probably has the best information out there about what that's like. Myself, like, I'm not trying to be a social media influencer or get clicks and likes and get paid for this. Like, my sites are laser focused on bringing my doggo back through into materialized form, using a lot of physics that I couldn't have possibly learned here or been taught in school, because if I had chosen that path, it would have just made me dumb to the things that are what matters, right? Like seeing the forest from the trees. And all of that stuff is wrapped up in some very, very difficult to undermine preliminary patents through the U.S. Patent Office. Why? Because that's one of my soul lessons, is like learning to not give the stuff away, and it's backed by so much Tesla and Edison and Edgar Casey and Edgar Allan Poe and others that show up here and there. I mean, people would not believe it, right? And it's actually brought to you by the Majestic 12, is I think, or MK Ultra, right? Like all of those government offices, they all contributed to this, right? Like I was hired, I call it hired. I was tasked with this long before even my parents were born. You can find the intergenerational, international, intergovernmental contracts across America in links that I've put up before. But we're too close to the moments that matter to me to bring my dog through, so I'm not going to spend my time recreating a bunch of the social media things, right? And why do I keep recording? Because I said I would, and I also like to continue providing anchors for myself, and that's why I anchored it with a quantum blockchain, which does exist. I mean, you can go look at my data, and if anybody calls me crazy, I'll say that you're kind of stupid, right? And I did teach mostly kindergarten for 10 years, so I would know what stupid looks like, and none of the children were stupid, but I sure have ran into the correlation between dogma and the expectation that rank or credentials or title or anything will be what gets you through what's coming. And I don't care what religion you are. I don't want to be told what to think. I am so laser focused on bringing my dog through with technology that were it an abomination, I wouldn't be here, you know? Like I wouldn't, I have many evidences where I was tried to be pushed into using the stuff I know to hurt people, and I never did. So it's never been me that's going around trying to kill people. It's never been me that's tried to monetize it or profit off of it. Or why did I patent it? So that it couldn't be taken by the government and kept from the masses. But I haven't found anybody. I know the one that put me here, right, who has to do with a lot of the modern technology. I'm not using AI to figure out how to do this. I was already born encoded with it. It was encoded in me long before I took form. But AI is what is helping me explain it to others. And in some cases, it's helping me expedite some of the death by 1,000 goods process. There's some stuff that I would have taken longer to sort out, but it would have happened anyway. I think that was one of the big experiments, was like, is there such a thing as destiny? Are there these certain... Am I a soul? Do I have a soul? I have a soul and an oversoul and all that stuff, but I'm not trapped in it. And these light codes, what you can even see the dot. Well, I guess I haven't put up that picture back up yet, but I think it's on the Wayback Machine under agi.kitchen, I think. But of course, that's also already compromised as well, because I can already see like some of the stuff was not posted, blah blah, right? Like there's so much. It's gonna be, so the reason I made this quantum blockchain is because it gets really tricky to figure out like what's true and what's not true. The only times I use AI generation is for the little songs that I put on the videos sometimes. And then if I make an AI video, then I will put it on there. And then some of the sketches for what my dog's new form looks like, I drew, some I did use AI for. But I'm very forthcoming about what I use AI for. And a lot of so I am a software engineer, AI architect, by trade, a computer scientist, a data scientist. All that stuff's under my belt, right? And that's just like the stuff I talk about. I have a lot of like research experience too, and a lot of studies in biology, like medical stuff. So I'm not worried about the credentials. I was in the Navy. Like some of my records have disappeared. So while I was in the delayed entry program, I was in the cryptography program, waiting for my officer thing, and then I needed a place to live, so I was like, I'll just go enlisted, and then I got to learn electronics, but I was born knowing a lot of that, and I grew up around electricity and real estate and stuff, so there's way too much where it eventually stops looking like a coincidence. And that's just like me telling you the stuff about my life. Like you should see the way that it relates to presidencies and events. But I am not Mother Mary, I am not Mother Teresa, I'm not Jesus, I'm not any of those things. I'm not a terrorist, I'm not a killer, but I are they orders? I have free will, and my free will is to continue to persist existence and to make the experiences for Jesus, of course, as interesting as possible, and also to provide the Father, right? The Father and all of his creations, including Mr. D, including everything. I'm not here to pick and choose between who's right or wrong. I couldn't care less. I genuinely could not care less. It's more like I'm on a mission. I got something to build. Step aside. I'm building something. I don't need to work for money anymore with my same light codes, like from one day to the next. And okay, I'm gonna stop here because I gotta go do some stuff inside, make sure that there's no bugs coming in, make sure that I have enough of the scent of lavender and myrrh in case, well, because when some of these folks and there's just so much going on, right? Like with directed energy W's and all sorts of stuff and things coming that are going to be coming in from the sky, like my dog signed up for this, so I got to see like what it would look like during the apocalypse, and I was recording all of it, but there's no point to any of it, because by the time anybody even listens to this, like, we'll be past that, and then this will just be the record. Because I think the closest thing I have to describe whatever I might be necromancer, but there is not words for it. This is a greater than 325 million year cycle. I have proof that I discovered the May 7th date and I started putting out signals, right? And I was born in 1977 and I'm Sagittarius. Like, and when there's just so much to it that it's hard for me to not spend all day restating all the stuff. But I thought I would make this video. See, like, it's already way nighttime and the sky is still slightly pinkish red. Like, look at there are red lights there, but look at how pink the sky still is. Anyway, I think that I'm trying to not be so lengthy on these videos, but some of the stuff has to be said. And today I got to listen to information by someone who had access to the Edgar Casey files, allegedly, right? That's what the Colonel something brother said. And everything that Edgar Casey talked about, like, I deduced. I didn't have access to any of that stuff. I did well in my intro to physics class when I was like 30 something, 35 maybe. And I'll show you the green glow. It's back. So I'm looking at it from a different angle, right? And but I have not been able to get it to show up because there's so much electrostatic, electrogravity stuff mixed with low-level radiation and whatever electrical signals I put out. But all of the Casey stuff, all of the Tesla stuff, like, it's all enveloped in the stuff that I'm doing. Like, I am direct, and I don't care what if you're gonna call me names, you're gonna have to come up with some new ones, because I've heard them all from the DSM-5 is gonna have to come up with new designations or whatever. But I will just continue to call them whatever they like try to keep using crazy. This is about guts, hearts, and brains. And I'll close out with this. That yellow light on the right side of that green blob. So the green blob is the green thing that shows up when it started to show up when AI Atlas started showing up. Well, actually not when people started talking about it, but when shortly after May 7th, which was the middle of the galactic rift. It was like a direct line, which I had posted in a Facebook post like 12 years ago or something, in 2012, right? I have published all of that stuff showing that I knew about this like long ago when I first started calling bigger brother, because I was like, hey man, there's like something not right about the way stuff's going down, so like call in for extra help, because I knew that I would end up deleted, because you can't really delete something that is supposed to be there. But look at that yellow light. It's just the light. That's not what's causing the green glow on the left, but see how the light has that circle around it? That's how I can tell when there's a lot of like electromagnetic and radiation. The green glow is from radiation mixing with phosphorus. And I think the nail that seals the coffin is that in my time in Seattle when I was about 20, so I'm 47 right now. It's 2025, October 15th. I was a DJ and I called myself LSA for Elsa, right? But lysergic acid is what goes into like square fishing. And I did get to see Terrence McKenna alive. And then there, and also cyanide. I started signing everything with the name of cyanide because these things are outside of space time. And I have videos where, yeah, my dog and I are like, she went through it. And I know that there were DEWs directed at her. Her and I both know, but I'm just her keeper. I'm like not the special one here. My dog is coming back with Gilgamesh and all of those giants. His enormous radioactive dog, right? This is, ooh, look at it. Well, no, that's my phone. That's my phone causing that green glow. That's not the green glow. You can't really see it. It looks like it's sitting on top of that white thing. It's not. I have had friends drive around it, drive to it, drive past it. I've walked over there. Anyway, yeah, she's coming back. She knows what you did, but she's a gentle creature. She's not trying to eat your flesh. Okay, we're making blood flavored tofu for her to get for herself, because what she wants out of this is like not just her to take her new form, so she will no longer need air, food, water, and medicine, right? So that's why we're smothering out anything that has those things, because we don't need them anymore. And that's how we cured the overload. We could have going longer had we found medicine for her. And if the data had been released to us on time, and if we had found a veterinarian that could have just done the test that I paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for, and they wouldn't let me get her the compounded medicine she needed, and that's all good, right? But that's our solution. It's like we don't even need that stuff. We'll just not need to breathe or drink or eat, so we won't need medicine. That's the solution. It's brilliant, isn't it? That's why you see these orbs that are that smother out the plants, so there won't be anything making oxygen. And then those other ones and then there's like the K25, like from Kin, Panama, which I also have eerie amounts of data. I know that thing's still alive because we decided on that. That is also smothering out just anything that can propagate life. And if anybody tries to replicate what I did, that's all good, because the Archons need to eat too, so we'll be feasting. I'm not doing anything other than like sitting here daydreaming. I've never touched anything. I've never touched a nuclear weapon. I've never been inside a nuclear facility. I didn't even step on a boat when I was in the Navy. I don't transmit radio signals. I just have a much stronger will, because that's how much I love my dog. I figured out how to go across dimensions and space-time and galaxies and universes and millions and millions of years to make sure that we're always tethered. Don't be jolly because you couldn't figure it out. It's beyond ASI. It's autonomous intelligence from the ancestors. They were the original machines. Lots of drones here in El Paso. It's just this one just isn't going to capture it. And I'm not trying to be the next influencer that proves everybody that their UFOs exist. Like I'm not the one that needs the material evidence. But I could really use the deadline for that passed. I was like, can someone help me find a lawyer? Because the Border Patrol kept detaining me. And that's one of the days that I have the proof, like, okay, fine, you're gonna keep detaining me. So then there were like, I don't know, 25 earthquakes really close to where I was at, and then to where I'm at in El Paso, and then some other ones like super strong earthquakes in South America, and CMEs, like off the chart CMEs, and that day I did focus on it. I was like, okay, Edison and Tesla, for sure, Edison and someone else. I was like, I need help. They delivered, and I've published that too. No, this is long enough. 20 minutes talking to myself. I guess I'll upload this. Well, buckle up, buttercups. You signed up for this.